we are going to be discussing methods of energy band calculations, and the first method that I am going to be discussing is what is known as the tight binding method. Is a tight binding method, as it can be distinguished from the free electron methods, because you take orbitals as the basis sets, and these orbitals are the atomic orbitals in which the electrons are fairly tightly bound to the nucleus. So, that is the reason why it is called the tight binding method. In the tight binding method, the Hamiltonian is given by minus h cross squared by 2m del squared plus sigma over all the lattice sites V of R minus Rn. Okay. But you want to make sure that this potential that you are taking can be actually written in the following way, so that we can use the eigenstates of the atomic problem by doing the following thing: minus h cross squared by 2m plus V of R is what you will take, plus sigma over Rn not equal to 0 V of R minus Rn. So, this is what we will take as the crystal Hamiltonian. So, this I will write it as H naught plus sigma over Rn not equal to 0 V of R minus Rn. The basis states that we use are the atomic states at each site. Are used as basis functions, to build the block function. For now, we will restrict ourselves to the case of only one orbital per site. Okay. Case of one orbital per site is what I am going to be restricting myself to. Then we will generalize it to more orbitals per site using the tight binding calculation. So, once we have one orbital per site, let me call this orbital U R minus Rn. So, this is the H naught U of R is equal to E naught U of R. E naught is the eigenvalue of the atom in the state U of R. So, U of R can be either a 1s orbital, 2s orbital, 2p orbital, in which case you have degeneracy, or it can be 3s, 3p, 3d and so on and so forth. But right now I am only considering non-degenerate orbitals, so I will only consider s orbitals for now. So, E naught will be the energy of the s orbital, in this case of the atom. So, it could be 1s, 2s. If you are looking at sodium, it may be 3s orbitals that you are looking at. So, the block state we can consider is the following. U R minus R and R, phi of k of R is equal to sigma over Rn, all values of Rn. Okay. It includes 0, only the potential did not include 0. Now, at this point it includes Rn equal to 0 as well. E to the I k dot Rn U R minus Rn. In the lecture, not the previous one, but the one before, I had shown that phi k of R satisfies Bloch's condition. So I will not show it again, I had already shown it before. So now what we need to do is, if it is actually if the orbital u is non-degenerate, if this is non-degenerate, then energy of the band with wave vector k is given by, that means in the band the energy of the state k is given by, with wave vector k is given by phi k h phi k. So this we can actually expand. Okay, so we can take this one as equal to phi k h naught phi k plus sigma over r n not equal to 0 phi k v r minus r n phi k. Well, I should have put a factor 1 by root n just for normalization, but it should be remembered that phi k is not a normalized state even with a 1 upon root n, because the orbitals at different positions, like for example neighboring orbitals, are not orthogonal in general. So in general it is not a normalized orbital phi of k, but nonetheless 1 upon root n helps us. So now this can be written as the following: 1 upon n sigma over n n prime e to the minus I k dot r n minus r n prime into the following: u star r minus r n times h naught plus sigma over n double prime v of r minus r n double prime times u of r minus r n prime. So this is, I have got the e to the I k dot r n minus r n prime u star this quantity. So this can actually be written in the following fashion. These are all very simple manipulations, so you can do it carefully. 1 upon n times E naught times the following: sigma over n n prime e to the minus I k dot r n minus r n prime k dot r n minus r n prime times, I will write it as an integral, the other thing. So I will have the following: u star r minus r n u r minus r n d cubed r plus the potential part. I have just separated the two things, plus sigma over n double prime e to the minus I k dot r n minus r n prime integral u star r minus r n. I can also put here, I have to have summation over n and n prime and n double prime v of r minus r n double prime u r minus r n prime d cubed r. So, the first term that you get is because of h naught. So, what you have is h naught operating upon u of r minus r n at any particular site is given by E naught, and then you have sum over n n prime e to the I k dot r n minus r n prime, and then a u star r minus r n u r minus r n. So, that is basically, there must be a prime here. So, that is basically the first term, and the second is a potential term. Potential term is again e to the I minus I k dot r n minus r n double prime r n prime sum over n double prime u star r minus r n v r minus r n double prime and u r minus r n prime d cubed r. We can have a similar expression for the orthogonality part. Similarly, we can obtain an expression for phi k, and that will be given by 1 upon n sigma over n n prime e to the minus I k dot r n minus r n prime times integral u star r minus r n u r minus r n prime d cubed r, and it can be actually written as because the n will go cancel against a summation of one of the summations of n over the entire lattice, because when you sum over the entire lattice you get the number of lattice points. So, that will cancel this, and so what you will have is only the following: 1 plus sigma over n not equal to 0 e to the minus I k dot r n integral u star r minus r n u r d cubed r. So, this is very simple manipulation, because you know r n minus r n prime is also another lattice vector. So, it is just a matter of recognizing the fact that you are summing over two sets of lattice points, and what is equivalent to n times summing over one set of lattice points. The energy E of k is given by k h k divided by, this is actually phi k. Phi k h phi k divided by phi k, and we basically will have the following expression for E of k. If we make all the substitutions, we have E of k is equal to E0 plus sigma over n comma n prime not and n prime not equal to 0 e to the minus I k dot r n integral u star r minus r n v r minus r n prime u of r d cubed r, this particular part divided by 1 plus sigma over n not equal to 0 e to the minus I k dot r n integral u star r minus r n times u of r d cubed r. So, we got an expression for this, but looks very forbidding and complicated, because you have got summation over all the lattice points, double summation over lattice points in one case and summation over all the lattice points in the denominator, but it is not that bad. So, we can actually recognize the following things about the integrals that involve the Hamiltonian or the potential. So, if you are looking at the potential part, you see the following: integral u star r minus r n times v of r minus r n prime times u of r d cubed r is a 3-center integral, is in general a 3-center integral. Let me tell you what we mean by a 3-center integral. What it means is the following, that is u r minus r n, this is r n, let us say, okay, and this is r n prime, okay, and let us say this is the origin r equal to 0. So, I have u of r here, which is a function that is going like that, and then I have a potential which is v function here. The potential is actually attractive, so I do not want to draw it, and then you have another orbital at this point. So, now you see that you are trying to, the integrand involves multiplication of this function on r n, multiplication of another function at the origin, and the multiplication with the potential which is from a different site or different atom. So, this is in general a 3-center integral, and one of the usual approximations that are done is the following. Usually we neglect general 3-center integrals. So, we only have 2-center integrals to worry about. So, we only consider 2-center integrals. There are two types of 2-center integrals. One is the following. So, one type of 2-center integral involves u star r minus r n v of r u of r d cubed r. So, this is one kind of 2-center integral, and this 2-center integral is usually called the interaction integral or the transfer integral. So, this is the interaction integral. You can even think of it as a hopping integral or a transfer integral in general. If you take E naught to be 0, then it just means that, because if E naught is equal to 0, then the Hamiltonian only has these terms. Okay. So, this is interaction integral, hopping integral, sometimes called transfer integral, and chemists call it resonance integral. So, it has got many names. So, let us represent this by J. So, J r n is that integral, and we have another kind of integral which we call the crystal field integral. We call this by the symbol k, and this is again a function of the separation between the two centers, and is given by integral u star r u of r v of r minus r n d cubed r. So, what you are actually looking at this integral is the following, that is the charge cloud at the site, at the origin, is feeling the potential due to the atom at the position r n. So the interaction of the potential at Rn with the charge cloud at the origin is the crystal field integral. So if you have the crystal field integral and the interaction integral, this crystal field integral is summed over all the lattice sites n not equal to 0. Okay. So this is actually crystal field integral is the total interaction between the charge density at the origin and the potential at all other sites. It is a summation over the convenient to describe it as a summation and the potential over the rest of the lattice. So using these, what we can do is we can write down the energy expression as a function of Ke of k as E naught plus k, which is the crystal field integral, plus sigma over nu, sigma over n, which is all the nearest neighbors, j of Rn. This only depends upon the distance, not on the orientation, and multiplied by e to the minus ik dot Rn divided by 1 plus sigma over n e to the minus ik dot Rn times S of Rn, where S of Rn is the overlap integral. Let me define S of Rn. S of Rn is equal to integral u star r u r minus Rn d cubed r. So this is the overlap integral. So if we know, if we can compute the crystal field integral the interaction integral and the overlap integral, we can obtain energy dispersion of the band. Of k of the band. In many model calculations, what people sometimes do is take S to be 0. Crude approximation that you can do is the following: crude approximation treat S of Rn comma Rn not equal to 0 as 0. Okay. So if that happens, let me write it a little bit better. S Rn equal to 0 for Rn not equal to 0, and k is a fixed constant given the orbital and the potential, the orbital and the atomic potentials. E naught is also a constant. So, we can write down the energy dispersion E of k as, after all these simplifications, we can write down E of k as equal to sigma over n j times Rn e to the minus I k dot Rn. So, now we have got a very simple expression for the energy dispersion, and let us evaluate this for some simple lattices. So, if I am looking at say simple cubic lattice. Okay. So, in a simple cubic lattice, what I have is so my first neighbors are 6 in number. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So, you have 6 nearest neighbors, and these nearest neighbors are at positions 1, 0, 0, minus 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, minus 1, 0, and 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, minus 1, and j is the same for all these 6 sides. So, what we get for the energy band is the following. Just if I am only looking at the first neighbors, then I will get j at position A, okay, times is only dependent upon the magnitude of the distance. So, let me write it as j at A. A is the nearest neighbor distance into e to the I k x plus e to the minus I k x, coming from the set 1, 0, 0 and minus 1, 0, 0, plus e to the I k y plus e to the minus I k y plus e to the I k z plus e to the minus I k z, and this will give me j of A times, I can write it as 2 constant here, I take it, cos k x plus cos k y plus cos k z. So, in fact, you can actually add the lattice constant A here, because I have taken A to be unity, but if you have a lattice constant which is A, then you will get the following. So, this is the contribution to the energy band dispersion from the nearest neighbors. And what are the next nearest neighbors? The next nearest neighbors are the following. The next nearest neighbors are 1, 1, 0, and then I have minus 1, 1, 0, and I have 1, minus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 1, 0, and like this I have 3 more sets corresponding to 0 1 1 and 1 0 1. Okay, so we can write down. So if we write down what it looks like for the this class of neighbors, then we would be able to generalize it to the others. So if I take this, the distance is root 2a. So I have j times root 2a into e to the I kx a e to the I ky a plus e to the minus I kx a e to the I ky a plus e to the I kx a e to the I minus I kx a plus e to the minus I kx a e to the minus I ky a. Now we need to simplify it. So I can take, for example, e to the I ky a as a common factor, e to the I ky a, and I will have e to the I kx a plus e to the minus I kx a, and again I can take e to the minus I ky as a common factor into e to the I kx a plus e to the minus I kx a. So this is going to give me e to the I ky a plus e to the minus I ky a into e to the I kx a plus e to the minus I kx a, and that is equal to 4 cos kx a cos ky a. So this contribution is going to be like the following. This contribution will be j times square root of 2 times a into cosine 4 times that, cosine kx a cosine ky a plus cosine ky a cosine kz a plus cosine kz a cosine kx a. So this will be the general expression for that, and you can work it out for the other case, which is third neighbor distance. So third neighbor you can work it out, and if you worked out for the third neighbor, what you would get is j times the distance root 3a, and I will have 8 times that times cos kx a cos ky a cos kz a, and this comes from the neighbors which are 1 1 1 and all the others. So 1 1 1 1 1 minus 1 1 minus 1 1 and minus 1 1 and so on and so forth. So all possible things that you can write down for 1 1 1, and you will get this quantity. So if I were to write down the expression for the energy, so the energy as a function of k will be just E naught plus k capital plus 8 times j at 3a times cos kx a cos ky a cos kz a plus 4 times j at 2a times cos kx a cos ky a plus cos ky a cos kz a plus cos kz a cos kx a plus 2j at a times cos k x a plus cos k by a plus cos k z a. So, this is how the energy band will look like if you made that drastic approximation that you overlap integrals or between neighbors is 0, and also you ignore 3 center integrals. So, this is the energy dispersion relationship you get for a simple cubic lattice, energy as a function of k for a single band. I think I will stop at this point and we will continue from here in the next lecture, and we will discuss about how to do a tight binding calculation involving more than one orbital, and then afterwards go to other techniques for doing the energy band calculations. So, we will meet again later. Bye.